We have an update on the New Jersey train crash that happened in Hoboken earlier in the week. The engineer told the NTSB that the train was traveling at 10 miles per hour when it approached the station, but officials are struggling to confirm that because of a problem with the event data recorder.
Investigators from each of our groups have collected voluminous records, including documents associated with operational tests, mechanical, track, signal, and event recorder tests. Yesterday, our recorders experts worked with the experts from the manufacturers to access data from the recovered locomotive event recorder, which was built in 1995. Unfortunately, the event recorder was not functioning during this trip.
CBS News transportation correspondent Kris Van Cleave joins us from Hoboken, New Jersey right now. Kris, are they starting to say that the engineer was lying here about the speed?
No, they're only saying simply that that's what he told them was as the train approached the station. He says he blew the horn. He looked down at his watch, saw the train was running 6 minutes late. He noticed that the speedometer said 10 miles an hour. He does not remember the crash, he says the next thing he remembers is waking up on the ground. So we don't have from the engineer a moment by moment as the accident happened. But what he did tell investigators was that his shift started about 2 hours before the accident, that the train passed a brake check before they started their day, and that the train had been operating normally as he approached the station. He says he was going 10 miles an hour right before this accident happened. Now, there is also a second data recorder on board this train. It is in the cab or the front. So far, the NTSB hasn't been able to get to it. They are hopeful that that recorder is working. I asked them if this recorder, the one they pulled out of the back of the train, should have been working. Their answer was it probably should have been working or been replaced with a working one, but the train's only required to have one working data recorder, and that should be in the cab, which is the part of the train they can't get to right now.
You're talking about the difficulties of reaching this wreck area. What can you tell us about how they were approaching trying to get into this area?
So they got limited access starting yesterday afternoon, and they've been able to get into the last 3 cars of this 4-car train, but not the front car. Where the train came to rest is right at sort of a crucial point in the way the building is constructed. It's right where the century-old building meets the canopy and the cover that's out there. And so they compared it to playing pickup sticks, the effort to clear out debris here. And if they move the wrong thing at the wrong time, it can bring down further collapse. So it's a very painstaking process. We know crews are working around the clock to remove the debris while still trying to protect the integrity of the accident site. The NTSB says they don't know when exactly they'll be able to get in to that cab car. It could be today, it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it could be a couple of days. They just don't know. But they stress that the information on board that train, the front-facing camera, that data recorder, it's not perishable. So if it takes them 3 days to get it, it's still going to be there. They just want to make sure that they don't bring down any more of the building or any more of this awning. The glass in the canopy, when it came down on the train, actually punctured the roof of the train. So there certainly is some risk here if there's further collapse, and they want to take that one step at a time and go slowly there.
And any word how this will affect commuters this coming week?
So that's a big question. This is a busy station. Thousands of people use it every day. New Jersey Transit through here has been operating on a weekend schedule, but not out of this station. We know that the PATH train and the ferries are back running, but how much service and what that will look like is still kind of a developing situation here. But it's likely going to be a disruptive commute for people in New York, New Jersey tomorrow morning.
Kris Van Cleave, thank you, Kris.